Welcome, dear student from Computational Physics. Our second chapter is a C programming, and from this second chapter, in this lecture, we have to see two programs. First program is a program to find vertical height and time of flight of a projection. The vertical height means the vertical maximum vertical distance of a projectile from the ground surface, while the time of flight means time required by projectile or object to complete the trajectory. Okay, so in this program we have to find the vertical height and time of flight of a projectile motion, and our second program is a program to compute the exponential series. So our first program is projectile motion. Okay, vertical height, formula for vertical height, that is h is equal to v square sine theta divided by twice g, where v is a velocity, okay, g is a acceleration due to gravity, and time of flight, that is a time required to cover the trajectory, that is a t is equal to 2v sine theta divided by g. Here v is a velocity, okay, v is a velocity of an object, or we can say that the object or projectile. Okay, first, comment line. The comment line is a program to find vertical height and time of flight of a projectile motion. This is a comment line which is enclosed in a pair of a parenthesis. Okay, this comment line is not executed during the execution of a program. Okay, include, hash include, actually this is a hash include. Hash include, this is a preprocessor directive. STDIO means standard input output. We use printf and scanf function, and these are the standard input output function, and therefore we use stdio dot h means header file. Next is a main function. Next is the opening or open curly bracket. We know that the body of a program is enclosed in a pair of a curly bracket, that is opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket. Now float, v, velocity. Velocity of a projectile is a float, okay, which consists of a decimal point. Float means the number which consists of a decimal point, a, okay, which is also float. G is acceleration due to gravity. A1 is also float. S is a float. H is a float, and T is a also floats. Okay, all these consist of the decimal point. Clear screen, which is a use to clear the previous output. Next is a printf function. Now this message, printf function is a output function which is a use to display particular message on a screen. Okay, the message enter the initial velocity in meter per second is equal to v is equal to, this message is a display on a screen. Okay, so printf is a output function. The message is enclosed in the double inverted comma, and the printf function is terminated with the semicolon. Now we have to give input. For that we use the input function, that is a scanf. Scanf percentage f, which is in a the double inverted comma. Why we use percentage f? Because the velocity is float and v. Okay, so input is the initial velocity which is in meter per second. Now second message is a display on a screen that by using printf function, that is output function, enter the value of angle of projection in a degree which is equal to theta. Okay, it is equal to, this message is a display on a screen. Now we have to enter the angle of a projection. For that we use the input function, that is scanf function. Scanf, okay, percentage f, because the angle of projection, that is a, here we consider a, which is the float which consists of the decimal point. This input function is also terminated with the semicolon. Now third message is a display on a screen. Enter the value of acceleration, gravitational acceleration in meter per second square, it is equal to g. This message is a display on a screen. Now we have to enter the value of acceleration due to gravity, that is g, by using scanf function. So percentage f, okay, because g, acceleration due to gravity, consists of the decimal point, okay, g, which value is 9.8. Now a1 is equal to 3.14 into a divided by 180. A is angle which is in a degree. Now a1 is the angle is converted into the radian by using this formula. So a1 is equal to 3.14 into a divided by 180. Now s is equal to sine of a1, that is sine of theta. Okay, now h is equal to v square sine theta, sine theta. For that we use s is equal to sine of a1, so v square into s divided by twice g. By using this formula we can determine vertical height, and t is equal to 2v into s, that is 2v into sine theta divided by g. By using this formula we can determine the time of flight. Now we have to display the time of flight and vertical height on a screen. For that we use the two output function, that is printf /n, it indicates that new line. The vertical height in meter is equal to h, it is equal to percentage f. The vertical height may be floats, and therefore we use percentage f comma h. So the vertical height is a display on a screen by using this output function. Now we have to display the time of flight, so that we use printf function /n, means new line. The time of a flight in second, it is equal to capital T, it is equal to percentage f. Why percentage f? Because the time of flight is float comma t, and which is obviously terminated with the semicolon, get ch. Okay, then it is the end with the closing curly bracket. Okay, the output is enter initial velocity in meter per second, it is equal to v is equal to 30. Okay, this is the initial velocity. Okay, enter the value of angle of projection in degree, theta is equal to 90 degree, here we consider. Okay, which is then converted into the radian by using formula a1 is equal to 3.14 into a divided by 180. Okay, enter the value of acceleration due to gravity in meter per second square, it is equal to g is equal to 9.8. Okay, the vertical height in meters is equal to h is equal to 45.918339. Okay, this vertical height is calculated by using formula h is equal to v square into sine theta divided by twice g, and time of flight in second t is equal to 6.122447 second. Okay, so this is the very simple program. Now we have to see second program, exponential series. The exponential series means ex is equal to 1 plus x square divided by 2 factorial plus x cube divided by 3 factorial plus x raised to n divided by n factorial. Now, program to compute the exponential series. This is the comment line. Okay. Now hash include is a preprocessor directive. stdio dot h. stdio means standard input output function, dot h means header file, then main function, then float. Okay, float x, t and s, these are the floats. So it indicates that the x, t and x have the decimal point. Okay, integer n, I, n and fact, these are the integer. Okay, printf, enter the value of x and n, enter the value of x and n. This is the output function printf. This message is a display on computer screen. Enter the value of x and n. This is enclosed in the double inverted comma. Okay, and the printf function is terminated with the semicolon. Now we have to give input, that is x and n. Okay, the x is a float, therefore scanf is the input function. Okay, percentage f, it indicates that the x is a float which consists of the decimal point, and percentage d, it indicates that n is the integer. Okay, n is a integer. So the inputs are x and n. Okay, so we enter the value of x and n by using this input function scanf. Okay, now t is equal to 1 and s is equal to 1. Okay, for loop. Now we have to consider the for loop. For I is equal to 1, this is a initialization. Okay, I is less than n, this condition we have to check, then I is incremented. Okay, I plus plus. Okay, so I is a incremented. Okay, I is a integer. Okay, now fact is equal to 1, I, fact is equal to I. Okay, but I is a first value of I is 1, then the I is incremented by 1 up to I is less than n. Okay, so this loop is executed up to which I is less than n. When I is greater than n, the of execution is going out of this loop. Okay, so for this is a for loop. Now fact is equal to I. Now t is equal to t into x divided by fact. T is equal to 1, x. Okay, x divided by fact. X is a float. X is a float. Okay, and this value of x is entered by the input function, that is a scanf, divided by fact, and fact is equal to I. So this indicates that 1 into 1 into x divided by fact, that is I, but value of I is 1. Okay, now s is equal to s plus t. Okay, now this term is calculated up to I is less than n. Okay, now printf, the value of e rise to x is equal to percentage 10.4f. Okay, actually it is a percentage f, but why 10.4? This is for formatting the output. This is for formatting the output. Okay, slash n, it is for new line comma s. This s value is display on a screen. Okay, and obviously the program is end with closing curly bracket. Okay, so output. Enter the value of x and n. Okay, n is equal to 3.0025. The value of e rise to x is equal to 20.0855. This is the output. Okay, so these are two programs. Okay, first program is program to find vertical height and time of flight, and second program is program to print the exponential series. Okay,